Airlines, any a gym rain, your son is so not EDB, Exum, Elhaxi, any the Mahama Braxim, any a day Kanya, or the answer which my subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Now, I'll feel what to me up share. Over the answer with me, leave a nice comment under the comment section. Nemo money emfa a year in summer, ye can. The access of what gym rain, Elhaxi. Na Ibura Yang Sima, a year. Mighty Upoku Prempre, Mammy for Dr. Kranka, because Doctor Day is not easy to come by. The unveiling Naxe Abra, ye pan on to my Eddie Atre, am I saying in ourselves, or not in a year the running mate, Emma Dr. Bawumia. When ya Kunyano Ecoshia on one Casanana a year Otumfour, na a foot twice or the money biano or the man. The way the NDC gurus be a church, a foot twanana a demand. A year Otumfour and Namabo Mwasa. The thing was so fresh, I will not put avenue. Enti Damra Okojina a Jubilee Park, a quite otherwise. A photo of the man one fine year Juma or no quick candy open. A daddy piffy say no one trim that there were bonny trim of posse or Becky Canadian the actual Ghana for. If a Dr. Kwame Kuma. Warning same Pia Manoka say your for transia Mojin Simon Pinsim more watching on you so. Jensemre, Yabobo Ebra Asway, and Idiomonia who bracks you motion swami. Say open political stories here. A tough mana pija. A tough mana home. Any a POG Media. No one should wait me high to the subscribe button. Share swam say under the comment section hole. What do I be in Chebesho, Amami? Yamisha, your cases why it is her. POG Media.
If you read it, the National Council consists of past presidents, if indeed there is anyone alive, vice presidents, if there is anyone alive, current or certain president and his vice, all the regional chairmen of the party, voting members of the National Executive Committee, 20 sitting members of parliament representing parliamentarians and other interest groups. So the vice president, who is the flag bearer of the MPP, took the name of NAPO to the National Council for confirmation or endorsement. The National Council looked at the name, looked at the pros and cons of the person presented, his intellectual capacity, his temperament, his fit for purpose, and so on, and came to a conclusion, as we were told by the General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodia, that unanimously they all said the man was fit for purpose. He was suitable for the position of the running mate of the New Patriotic Party, and by extension, the vice president of the land. And based on that, the party said they will be doing an inauguration, or the inauguration or unveiling. Now, sometimes I get confused with these words. In Kumasi, to showcase the beautiful NAPO, the handsome NAPO, the intellectually powerful NAPO, as we were even told by a member of the NDC, member of parliament for Cape Coast, north or south, Kweku South, that when it came to matters to do with intellectual activism, NAPO was second to none, and that people must not equate arrogance to how powerful a person's intellectual prowess was. So we agreed, and Ghanaians were in expectant mood. NAPO was sent to Manchia to be introduced to Otumfour as the running mate. Now, on that occasion, interestingly, an advice was offered by the person that they were introducing him to. That is Otumfour. He said, people are saying that you are arrogant, but I don't see you that way. So go out there and prove that you are not arrogant. And do not let the person that nominated you to be his running mate regret for doing so. The message was very simple. And said that if you know the distance between Manchia and the Jubilee Park in Kumasi, if you walk, it's 15 minutes. If you use a car, it's 5 minutes. And the advice, between the time the advice was given to NAPO and the time he went on that stage, it was less than 2 hours. So it means the advice was so fresh. Was so fresh in the mind of NAPO. But to remind you, when Otumfour was speaking, and you look at the demeanor of NAPO, I think he was thinking otherwise, what is this man saying? you are going to tell the people our peace of mind. You are sitting here telling us that I should not go and exhibit what? Arrogance. So he went to the Jubilee Park full of vim and vigor to show why he was nominated and endorsed unanimously by the National Council of the NPP. Mind you, before it got to the turn of NAPO, people have spoken. I mean, the chairman of the Ashanti Region NPP chairman, Wontumi, has spoken. Kennedy Japan has spoken. President of the land has spoken, and the vice president. Here I want to concentrate on the president and the vice president, what they said about NAPO, and to let you understand that NAPO has done nothing wrong. In fact, he only lived up to expectation on that very day. The president said that in this country, it is only him that knows NAPO too well. And he can in fact testify about his good deeds, his persona, his character, more than anyone, because he has worked with him. In fact, it was the reason, because he has so much confidence in him. That was why he entrusted the education ministry and his flagship policy, the free SHS, onto his care, that he delivered amply. But does it surprise you if someone says NAPO is arrogant? He has been trained by President Akuffo. Here is a president that a harmless chief asked for the completion of a school. We have expended taxpayers' money in constructing a school up to a certain percentage, either 90 or 95%. We were only left with 5%. The chief was saying we cannot waste taxpayers' money like that. So please, Mr. President, just come and add the 5%. You know what he told him? Everything you can do is to go and do it. That was the president. So if that president says he has mentored NAPO, what were you expecting? That's what I'm saying, that NAPO lived up to expectation. Spillage of Akuffo Dam. People were suffering. First of all, we had to beg the president to go and visit them. We begged him. We practically begged him. Because before he went there, an independent presidential candidate, Mr. Alan Chamate, had even gone to commiserate with the people. The president was chilling in Accra. When he went there, in the midst of the people's pain, when the people were in pain, what did he tell them? You have not been voting for me, but still I'm here. So if NAPO says anything otherwise, why must it surprise you? He is coming from the storm, the training that has been given by the president of the land. See, ordinarily, I don't have any problem with what he said. Ordinarily. But the only thing is that it tells you the tension in the system. It tells you how majority of Ghanaians do not want to see or hear anything from the NPP. Either than that, if it is his view that President Akuffo, mind you, he used the word helped. President Akuffo, since 1957, is the only president that has helped Ghanaians. That is his view. Why would I have a problem with it? It has become a problem because there is so much anger in the system. There is so much pain. There is so much poverty in the system. People are hungry. Unemployment is so rife at 14.74%. People are having to grapple with high cost of living, high rent, high electricity, high transportation. And so nothing fancy them anymore. They want resolutions of their problems to deal with this matter. But NAPO made certain statements that are more damning than what people are discussing. And I'm wondering why people could miss that. And we were exposed all this year. NAPO is saying, first of all, he did tribal politics in Ashanti region. He is saying that he is their brother, and for which reason must be voted for. He's not saying he's coming on board with that.
Fina ubebre money di money on Broxim stress. I beg your pardon. Ubi to me, I subscribe to the channel. Hate on the notification bell. Now I feel what to me. I subscribe now, boy. I'm a channel. It to me. I found it to my part Efra. Now I feel now joining up. My main book as a minute of now and show. Now so far be a two cookie bill. NDC gurus, and among a show my being a hope saga. Efa aye Dr. Marti Opoko Prempe NAPO any Dr. Kwame Akroma Hunsen Sema oyede okanye na asemo mo kanyina se efutu a Otumfour edema aye NAPO no na ade no akoye mprempren aye fresh enti wankoda sumpo no aka se bi efutu odema am no se bi oson se bi anya ado mrefi enti se wo san ko gina simpie so ekoye efutu na ye dia ma wo se we se die kira man sense nyesa na wotie na wo san akoye sa de ya ene ne da di pefi se eye bo apa yubi de wo bo trimu poda da se opese wo kan wadwin e de kire Ghanafo NDC gurus eni abre etre se multi opoko prempedie inka ni yem krompa ntempana enka yinyi to ase akunya. When you send Pierre by your four trunks, you are this point in time, years, and moon pessimu, Miss Strokes and idiom, Brasil, which you made on Sasha. The comment section of Amami, now boy, Amayumayino, or to me, I found into one pay for Channel Swamps housing a POG Media. Political stories are training makers making headlines, and a DB grew up a buano, Bedoxy.
Intellectual power that people have described him, but in that, the only reason why the people of Ashanti region must vote for him is that he's an Ashanti. And that is the vice president, that is the running mate, that in an unlikely event the MPP is voted for, will be the vice president of the country. Are you going to be the vice president of Ghana only for the people of Ashanti region? So there's also a big gap. But the point is that if his preposition or his statement is anything to go by, is NAPO more Ashanti than Alanchamanti? Why is it that, and is at this material moment, is it what the Ghanaian needs? Is the Ghanaian more interested in bread and butter matters or where I come from? Is that person that has finished national service, that is going home without any job, without any hope, is that person that has been trooping to the various embassies with a view to traveling out of the country, is he interested in where you come from as a running mate or how you are going to solve his or her problems? So clearly, he exhibited unseriousness. Because where the country has gotten to now, we are looking for a leader who would take us out of our troubles. That was the first gaffe. The second issue had to do with that he re-echoed the position of Chairman Wuntumi that they are not going to follow the mistake of 2008. What was the mistake of 2008? And I mean, if I were President Akuffo, I will go down in my grave being sad. I will be so sad at this stage that even when I'm alive, someone from my family, my own nephew, is telling me that when I was the president, I did not help the party and the country. That for him to have allowed the MPP to go into opposition in 2008 was a mistake, says Wuntumi and NAPO. What mistake did President Akuffo do in 2008? Having delivered as the president, and this can be attested to by majority of Ghanaians who have been trooping to his house to go and give him his stone, that he forewarned the people of this country that President Akuffo was not someone that you can entrust your destiny into his care. He did everything. When everything pointed to an NPP victory, what was President Akuffo and his NPP doing? They were holding campaigns at beaches, Labadi Beach. By the time the campaign is done, all that you could gather on the floor was condoms. I didn't know whether they were doing sex campaign or what. When you go and do this, and at the same time that you were doing campaigns at the beach or beaches, the NDC's candidate, President Professor Mills, was moving from house to house, door to door, and so was able to convince the people of this country to be able to vote for him. So if you decided to do your campaigns at the beach and someone decided to go door to door and you lose an election, why do you go and blame a poor President Akuffo? That you wanted President Akuffo to have done what? To rig this election, or rig election 2008 for President Akuffo or candidate Akuffo, so that this country will be burnt down. Now, they are saying that mistake is not going to repeat. And NAPO tells you something. That this time around, they are expecting 85% votes for the MPP. Mind you, since 1992 that we started voting, the MPP has never gotten above 77% in the Ashanti region. Look, even in the year 2000, that change was so eminent that almost every household, it became impossible for you to even show your NDC identity. Let me tell you, in the year 2000, the constituency chairman for the NDC in Akroma, Akuffo's hometown, for fear of being killed, for fear of being burnt down, Mr. Saribediako had to vote for the MPP as the NDC chairman and show it to the entire community to save his family. This one, I know the family so well. He had to vote as an NDC constituency chairman. He had to vote and show his vote that I did not vote for Professor Mills. Because he knew the consequences of that. He knew that if he had done so, he was going to be killed. Even without President Akuffo did not get the 85% that he's talking about. So, NAPO tell you that they are going to get 85% is part of the rigging machinery. It's a rigging strategy. It's just preparing your minds that the NPP is going to get 85%. And guess what? What did he add? He said, angels are going to be made to be templated for MPP. They will template angels. Have you seen angels voting before? These are criminally minded men and young ones that they have inserted in the album that they want to go and template for them. But NAPO must understand that in election 2024 December, angels that he claims will be voting for the MPP will be arrested and will be beaten. The first time you see an angel being beaten. So he used an occasion, that 5 minutes, 2 minutes, to destroy or to expose the diabolic plans of the MPP. And for us in the movement for change, it's so good, it's so beautiful, it gives us that impetus. How many times, Senna, haven't I come here to tell you that the Ashanti region does not belong to the MPP anymore? How many times? I'm sure you have been downplaying that statement. The nomination of NAPO vindicates my position. When NAPO was nominated, what was the reason they gave for his nomination? They said they were bringing him in to go back to the stronghold of the party, which is Ashanti region, to reorganize them. Now, how do you go back to your own stronghold to organize them? Organize who? Because if it is your stronghold, it's assumed that everyone is on board. You don't need any organization. You just have to whistle. Everyone is on. You are moving. But NAPO is having to to be nominated so that you go back and cry to them, do tribal politics, tell them that I'm an Ashanti, you are also an Ashanti, so vote for me. But unfortunately for NAPO, your own face will not even be on the ballot. So that despicable campaign is rather going in favor of Alan, because at the end of the day, you are no more Ashanti than Alan Chamate, and his face will be on the ballot. When he is more credible, he is competent, he is honest, he has a character and temperament better than your candidate, Mahmoud Bawumia, who in these difficult times is calling all Ghanaians or calling everyone to come to a debate. Everything must be reduced into academic exercise. Hunger does not know academic exercise, Mr. Vice President. When indeed in 2016, at Sangba, you yourself, the Vice President, on your campaign tour, told the world that you did not need to do any campaign with any flag bearer of the NDC. If he needed any campaign, he should go back and do campaign with the farmers, go back and do campaign with the traders, go back and do campaign with students who are struggling. What has changed, Mr. Vice President and flag bearer of the NPP? And indeed, if there's any debate, that debate was settled for the entire country in Bono region by that young lady called Jaria, that nursing lady, remember her? She settled all our problems for us. One after Dr. Bawumia rattling her mouth, running her mouth, that this government has done so beautiful, has achieved a monumental feat that no one has achieved, the young lady Jaria asked Mr. Vice President, I have never received an allowance that you claim has been shared or given to students. It took the Vice President to tell us that when I go to Accra, I will check. He should go back to the Bono region and settle that debate with that lady. When he is able to do that, then we can move forward. But you see, what NAPO has done to President Akuffo, and by extension, the very family he comes from, Apejafi, I'm not too sure tomorrow if anybody begins to descend on President Akuffo.
And to we see a summer a course of our channel, so I have a POG Media. Best say, and a day kanya. Subscribe, share. Now I feel what to me I tell notification bell. Story be a toma. And no one said and our bobo one. So would be a talk to you ma or they want to tree. Engineer Kotoba is near ko any day ba. Na ansana be whom is a POG Media. And accept Yami Shaw on your cassette and umra waji a wasi or body any dear dumby dummy and you be sent she more ha. They assigned the moon, how my chancy at their barbasmo, but accident umbre.